Hey guys, welcome to Teamfight Talkshow. I am your host, DoA. With me is Frodan, as always, and today we have a special guest returning to the show. Once again, it is the one and only Soju. Now, we were talking about this before the broadcast, but we can't remember if I was hosting the last time you were on. Do any of us remember this? Was that Travis or was that me? Do you remember, Frodan?
I think it was
Travis.
I think it was Travis. That was Travis.
All right, well, there you go. Well, either way, I'm happy to have you on the show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Great. So you took third in the recent tournament, all that NA finals and everything. So the question is, biggest question is, what have you been doing since then?
I dropped 600 LP.
Nice.
But honestly, I've just been having a lot of fun playing TFT. So I streamed infinite hours this last 2-3 weeks or so. But yeah, my life is just wake up, play TFT, go to sleep.
Sounds pretty familiar. Frodan, what have you been up to, man? I know you've been jamming games lately because you just told me like 20 seconds ago.
Yeah, I had a pretty nice Thanksgiving holiday. And there's just been a lot of like crazy stuff going on with Twitch. I know we had to cancel last episode just because there's a lot of stuff with the GlitchCon, and there's also a bunch of cool upcoming Twitch rival stuff. But yeah, like the previous patch with like Zed domination and like cultists being super strong and keepers and whatnot, I think all of that kind of really back in Yone getting nerfed. I've been kind of enjoying a lot more of the B patch so far, so I'm excited to chat about it with Soju.
Cool. Yeah, me too. Well, let's dive into it. Usually we do a little bit more work, like introducing our guests and like getting people to, know you and all that. But people already know who you are. So I figured we would just jump right in, unless there's something you feel the need to share with people, Soju. Is there anything you need to share?
I'm ready.
Chat. Oh, okay. All right. I wanted to give you the chance at least. Okay. We've got that out of the way. Let's talk about the patch. So we took a week off, right, from or a 2-week or whatever weekly basis the show is on. We took the last one off when we were going to have a show. We didn't have it. That's when patch 10.24 came in. Now we've got patch 10.24B. Here are the original patch notes. I felt like the game was in a pretty decent spot. Zed was obviously very strong. We see the nerfs, but I think 10.24 feels pretty good to me. And I admit I maybe haven't played as many games as I usually do. There's this MMO out there. Some new content came out. Might have distracted me. Might have distracted a lot of people. Who knows? I think it probably did. But either way, from what I've played so far, 10.24, it feels pretty good. But I'm going to throw it over to you first, Soju. What do you think? What's the state of the game in your opinion right now?
Is this 10.24 or like the post-B patch?
I think this is just a 10.24 patch. This is the B patch, yeah.
Okay. Well, the general trend that I notice is that even things that are not broken are going to get nerfed, only because it's annoying to play against. So the two examples are going to be Talon and Zed. It's just like when you play against it and you lose and you get your team wiped, it kind of feels like, oh, I'm just going to play this comp 20 out of 20 so I don't have to deal with it.
Sure.
And that's exactly what happened. I think Talon right now is completely unplayable, but I think Zed is actually in an okay spot. And that's what also happened to Aphelios, like just losing to that one Aphelios with GA. But overall, the patch feels pretty good. When you lose, you kind of know why you lost, whereas before it's like you lose, you just lost the 4-1. But yeah, right. I think it's in a good spot.
Do you think the changes fix the 4-1 roll down?
Oh yeah, definitely. People are going 8 on 4-5 and rolling on 5-1, and that extra stage of gameplay is like, it means you have to play your early game correct.
Yeah. There's a lot heavier emphasis on like proper setup now, like with the exception of Zed, right? Because like with 10.24, the big problem with Zed was exactly what Soju described, which is optics. It's like the fact that you hit like Z2 and all of a sudden it's like a free fast 9, and you can play like Z2, Evelyn 2 with ninjas, and then just like play any legendaries and like a Yone 1, and you just completely dumpster like 2-star legendary boards, full power dust boards, and it just didn't look right. And now that the B patch, the first initial inclination is that Warwick and Divine comps seem to be really powerful. It's actually funny that Kiyun rated the stream, actually, for those of you who are watching on VODs. Kiyun rated us. Kiyun's actually been playing a lot of Warwick comps successfully into Fast 9 legendaries, and it's been a very powerful playstyle. I tried emulating that, and I've had a lot of success going 1-2-2. So overall, like, I think that is a really strong, like, day 1/2 playstyle if you want to, like, try to jump immediately into ranked and you know, get some LP.
I'm pretty hyped that my favorite comp Dusk is still going strong. It's gotten, I feel like Dusk is always floating between like A- and S-. You know, it's never like the very, very best comp, but it's never really that much lower than I would say A-. Sometimes around B, but it still seems pretty good. How about you, Soju? This is one of the things that has stood out to me in set 4 overall that I've kind of enjoyed, is that a lot of now, as the patch changes go through, we had the roll down change we mentioned. You know, you don't have to do the 4-1 slot machine anymore as much, but it feels like throughout most of set 4, there's been like a good 4 or 5 comps that have all been good, and just whatever one happens to be the best at the moment rotates by patch. But there's a lot of stuff that seems good. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's playable to top 4, especially early game. But it's generally like 1-2 comps that are winning, like you said earlier. But yeah, I agree.
All right, cool. How about you, Dan?
I mean, like, we just have like this, like, I think it was Bunny Muffins that posts like this image that basically like has this wheel of complaints in TFT where it's like one comp is dominant, so people are like really upset and they need to nerf it. And then when we have like a 3 comp dominant thing, people are like, oh, it's just rock, paper, scissors. And then when it's like 2 wide and varied, people are like, oh, it's just RNG. It's like you can't be consistent and force a comp. And so it's just like this nonstop wheel. And I just feel bad because like with each passing month, I always feel like Mortdog just like loses another year off his life. And like for the life of TFT, we need Mortdog to survive, right? Like he is the avatar. We need him Mortdog.
Well, I mean, I feel bad for Mort, especially because like I think it was this morning he tweeted that he was like nervous about the 10.25 patch because it would be like the last patch before the Christmas break, and so it'd be a long break between patches, and he was hoping people would like it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart went out to him because I'm like, Mort is literally worried about ruining Christmas. Like that's the level we're at right now, you know? And it's like, come on, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. And the more TFT goes on, the more I realize what Frodan was talking about too, that you will never please absolutely everybody with a patch, right? Because there's always going to be a style of play that's good and a style of play that's less good. And the people that like the style of play that is good, whether that is your comps or rolling at a certain level or what have you, will be happy. And the people that like it the other way will not be happy. And you can never make everything work perfectly all at the same time. Like it's just impossible with a game like TFT. So the more time goes on, the more I think it's going to have to be like, yeah, sorry, get over it. You know, like it's still a great game. The balance is still in a good place. If you're willing to embrace the game instead of just the game that you think it should be, you can have a lot of fun, I think. Maybe that sounds too harsh, but that's my thought on it.
Maybe. I mean, so like part of the issue is that we need like different play styles to emerge, right? Like if you like one of my favorite things actually is to watch Korean streamers, because Korean streamers play very different from NA streamers. And so there's like this really big differentiation of like Korea likes to like hyper aggro level. They level at like 2-2 to level 5.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe it sometimes. And then you watch like NA players like Sox and all these people who like really push eco and like try to play management styles. Even Soju too. You play really greedy Soju. I like it. And it's like it's so interesting to see that differentiation in play styles. And yet they have such different, like we all still kind of converge and feel like, you know, the same comps are broken despite play styles being similar. And I think that's what the problem exists, right? Like you want TFT to be approachable from multiple angles, where you're like, if this is not working, then I can go from a different way. And in like 10.23 in patches before, it felt like that wasn't the case because everyone had to roll down at 4-1 no matter what. And so hopefully, like, you know, the system changes will be like a really good thing moving forward. And so far, it's been pretty good. I don't know. What do you think?
Agree. What do you think?
Touch on the KR thing?
You can touch on whatever you want. Go for it.
Okay, so the KR region is really weak. So I really don't think you should be watching them to play. The reason it's weak though is because when you greed, you should be greeding. But when you don't greed, there's a reason you want to level, like pushing win streak and stuff like that. But there's this one patch where like the Bebe dropped 500 LP. It's because they're pushing levels for no reason. Like they're not even on a win streak. They're just hard forcing win streak. You're hard forcing like better chose and stuff like that. But when you kill your eco, you're just gonna be like less gold, less HP, and the game's doomed. But like if you're bored, if you can't commit to your board, you just don't level and you don't commit to your board, and you commit to your board like post breaking your streak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like every time I watch a KR streamer, it just seems like they level, but they don't know why they're leveling. I don't know if anyone gets that vibe, but me and Kyun agree. Like
they definitely like leveled and like play a unit with no synergy, like barely any power increase, and like you said, they've like really set their eco back like almost an entire half stage. So I've definitely been like confused at times watching.
Well, so here's a question then, because I think we will see like over time more, kind of trends developing on different servers. So if everybody is doing that, if everybody's playing that way, then is it right? If you're the only person playing high econ and everyone else is playing that early level high aggressive style, wouldn't you just get wrecked most games?
I mean, you would just ride the easiest like 7 loss of your life, and then you would just outscale them late game.
Okay. When are you starting the ult on the Korean server?
We need more international tournaments, though.
Yeah,
no, we do.
I think this should be a challenge. I think you should do a KR account, and although it is a little bit tricky to get those sometimes, but do a KR account and do a race of masters over there.
That's what Kyun's doing. I
think Kyun's doing EU. People say they're aggressive on EU, but like EU is the same as NA. I feel like EU solo queue it feels the exact same. But like when you do watch like non-EU, non-NA, you just look at boards on like let's say stage 5, and their boards are so bad. I don't even understand how you can even get to like where did their gold go? You just look at their board and it just looks like a mid stage 4 board, which is kind of sad considering how much money
they're all leveling, bro. They're all like especially with like the player damage changes, right? Like they're trying to like make sure not to take damage, but like there are times where I feel like the leveling has been pretty smart, but then also there's been times where I feel like they just like threw the game. So, but then like the other person throws too because they're also leveling, so it's like this interesting cascading effect where like
that's the thing, yeah. Everybody gets each other to do it, and then it all works out over there, but. Maybe not in NA, maybe not as well. Yeah. What do you think is the right way to play in NA right now? What?
Korea versus NA. Should definitely do that. Definitely do Korea versus NA.
No, that'd be terrible. What do you think is the right way to play right now, Soju? High econ, low econ?
I think it's just strongest board. You never roll. So people say that you can roll on 3-2. And like when you roll on 3-2 and you miss, the game is so over. It's actually you're dead by 4.
Yeah.
You're dead before stage 4 carousel because you have no money, you have no board, and you can't roll on 8. Basically,
that?
or like EU players are saying that you can roll on 3-2. And I agree. Like sometimes you like to hit pairs, but like it's never every game. But I think generally like 90% of your games are just going to be 4-5 sit, roll on 5-1, and then play strongest board. And then depending on how high roll your opener is, it's going to dictate your HP. But as long as you're like 50 HP on 5-1, you're in a good spot, like a really good spot. And you probably played your early game correct.
Cool. Fair enough. All right. Any other topics meta related, Frodan, that you can think of here?
Aphelios is coming back. You mentioned Aphelios, and like we've been seeing like Moonlight kind of stay around like all throughout the set so far, but Aphelios comps seem to be like every now and then splashing in and getting like a top 1. So I thought that was kind of interesting because Aphelios did get reworked in the 10.24 patch. Do you think it's actually good, Soju, or do you think it's just kind of like high roll, like Vayne rerolls and other stuff like that?
It's probably. I mean, it's good if you have the opener for it, I think.
All right. What is the opener for
really interesting in terms of like comps like that we haven't really seen in a while, so I thought that was worth bringing up.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry? Wait, what was the question?
What were you saying, Dan?
I was saying that I thought Aphelios was a real comp, and I was asking you if it was. And
I mean, okay, so the opener would just be like, I actually lost to that. I had a full cap legendary board, and I lost to a 5 Moonlight like Aphelios. He had BT, QSS, something, but it was the Silas 4 that actually killed my comp. I don't even understand. He had like Silas 4 with Locket.
Huh.
and it just walked over. I don't know if this is true, but it seemed like the chains were silencing my entire team. Like I don't know if they increased the radius of
damage.
Huh.
it's just that's what I thought, but my whole team was getting silenced. I don't know. Maybe it
Bro,
was just some weird stuff.
You might be the first person to ever lose to 5 Moonlight ever. I've never seen it.
I was gonna say, yeah.
No, I had a full legendary board. Everything was capped, and then I just couldn't beat this comp. It was so weird.
Was this on stream?
No,
the
no.
bot?
Oh, I rage quit stream like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to go grind off stream, and I climbed 200
okay.
LP in like 5 hours.
I'm sure
because
losing to
there
Aphelios 4 helped you feel better with that.
No, I mean it was
Silent.
fine. I don't
I
mind
mean,
losing to Aphelios.
All this
Does
sounds like to
1,000
me.
damage one time, Doa. You don't understand. Silas 4.
I've never seen it.
I
either.
clearly don't understand Silas 4. I'm gonna have to grind this. I think the answer that I'm getting in my mind is that we all just need to embrace the Korean style of fast leveling, because clearly what Soju's doing is not working. So I think it's time to switch things up a little bit, maybe.
Yes, yeah. All right, let's
There you go.
Let's move on then, shall we?
Sounds good to me. Okay, all right, let's move on. Hey, we've got a cursed image to look at. It's a new segment. Frodan, this was your idea. Do you want to kind of introduce this one?
Yeah. So we, there's a lot of fun screenshots and clips that people like to post, and so we want to kind of like highlight a really fun, like, can you believe this high roll or can you believe this low roll? So we're gonna be featuring like a new media every single episode, and so our first cursed image of the week, I was told was particularly special to our guest here. We have
I hadn't seen this yet. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh that hard.
K3Soju with minus 500 LP. Not even 4 digits anymore.
Can you press refresh? Is there a refresh button or?
It's Flex on Twitter. Shout out to It's Flex.
Let's hold on. Let's go. Should we go to lol chess right now?
Yes, please do.
All right, I'm going to lol chess right now.
But we also wanted to
We're gonna double check this.
Like Emily's been killing it lately. She's been crushing it, climbing consistently, and that's always really good to see. And I look forward to this emerging rivalry between Soju and his fated arch nemesis Emily.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Soju's he's gaining now. You're up to 1101 LP. Is that current?
Yeah. After
Okay.
I stayed up like 40 hours, and then I passed out for like 20 something hours, and here I am.
Wow.
So I've been asleep since I played. Yeah.
You've redeemed yourself.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Anyway, fun little segment. Just wanted to do a little bump and not that. Of course, it's just playful. Soju, of course, getting back his LP. I'm pretty sure you're ahead of Emily right now.
Soju's gonna be like coming through your window tonight, Frodan, with like a shank or something. Watch out, dude.
I didn't choose this image. I'm not gonna say who, but I did not choose it.
Okay. All right. It was not me either. I had not seen it. For the record. We've also got what? Go ahead.
Oh, I need to change that super minion. That super minion looks so bad.
That's like really old. That's a really old image, I think.
Yeah, it is. That's what I used in middle school, but I didn't realize how stupid it looks.
You should just switch to something current, like the ancient clarity icon or something. There you go. Well, let's move on as quickly as possible. We've got another segment to take a look at. It's another new segment, and it's just simply called Agree. And Frodan, this was also your idea. So go ahead and intro us. How should we approach this one?
Yeah. So new segment on the show again. This is kind of a hot take segment where we're going to present statements and it's simply agree or you don't agree. But and so we're going to be doing 3 every single episode, and we really want to have Soju kind of weigh heavily with his opinion. And at the end, we all kind of have this check mark below our boxes, and we see whether or not we agree or disagree. So the first one is players who 20 out of 20 Z will struggle on the B patch for 10.24. Soju, what do you think? Agree?
Disagree. I think one tricks are good at the game. Like it doesn't. Just because you 20 out of 20 a broken comp doesn't mean you're bad at the game. Like even if the comp gets rotated out, because 1, you can just find something else to one trick, but 2, it's like what's stopping a silver player from 20 out of 20 and hitting challenger like them? There's like so much skill expression, even if you just play one comp.
In terms of just really learning the ins and outs and like all the different little variations, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. But you don't think the nerfs are going to make? Do you think this comp will struggle per se on 10.24?
I don't think so. I was looking at Asian Gamer 5's match history, and he seems like he's doing fine. I mean, the comp's probably still playable. The nerfs are pretty. I actually think Zed was pretty balanced. It feels really bad to play against, but
Oh,
it was pretty balanced, I think.
Hmm.
Like it
Alright.
would lose to keepers if keepers on the right side. It would lose to Warwick, assuming they have or the Zed board isn't capped. It can definitely lose matchups, but yeah, it got slightly nerfed. I still think it's playable. I looked at AG5's match history, but I think the biggest takeaway is that even when you one trick a comp, you're still playing TFT, and there's a lot of like small stuff that like even saving 2 HP is the difference of like let's say 0.1 placement. So like a better player would probably save like 10 HP, and 0.5 placement is a lot.
yeah,
True.
I can agree with that. And I think that people who like one trick in particular get a bad rap for that. I think the big issue and part of the reason why I think this statement actually is more true, and I actually do agree with this general sentiment, is that I think that the skill set that most players who did go 20 out 20 Z weren't challenged enough. Like they don't really have to pivot. They don't really have to scout. They just have to play best board until they get to the Z. So the very, very top players, which is what you're talking about, like, you know, like Asian Gamer, for example, won the Team Liquid stuff. He's doing well. He was killing it on Challenger Ladder. And he had been struggling most of the set with his rank prior to that. And people look at him and kind of, you know, unjustly so peg him as like a player that benefited only from the patch. But, you know, there are a handful of players that are guilty of this, where like they don't scout, they don't really adapt. They just kind of learn what other players are doing, and then they just copy it. And I think they will struggle a lot more on this patch. And when I look at some profiles, I have marked a certain amount of them. They are struggling. They've been dropping LPs slowly, and so you know it's all out there on LOL chess. I'm just gonna let the results speak for themselves.
Do you have like a list after you lose to a Zed player? You just put them on the list and you check that
I
little
don't have
chest.
to, because it's right there. There's a website that I love called Meta TFT. Meta TFT shows the rising players of LP, most notably in the past 7 days, who's been the biggest gainers. If you click the list, almost all of them have like dropped all their LP in the past 2 days, which has been really interesting. Like the rising players who have been like doing really well. Like I would say more than like 70% of them have been like all their plus 500 LPs, like minus 300 in the past 48 hours.
All right. Well, I hesitate to go against what the pro is saying, because we've got like I agree with everything Frodan's saying, but what Soju is saying sounds very logical as well, and I agree in principle of that if you one trick a comp to the extent that like Asian gamers did, you're going to be able to make it work adequately in nearly every patch. That said, I feel like this question is just specifically about Zed comp. So I think the players that are like not at Asian gamers level, right, that just kind of learned the easy quote unquote way of doing this, players at my level basically is what I'm saying, players who aren't actually that good at the game, and I think they're going to struggle, right, because you're not going to find that same success. And if you haven't been playing flexibly, if you haven't been at least learning, practicing some other comps, you're going to start to fall off. So I think a player like Asian gamers and the top challenger players at one trick can get by patch to patch, but I think your average player is going to suffer. So I'll have to agree with this one, I think, in a more nuanced way. I hope it comes
Actually, yeah. I mean, the average player would definitely struggle.
Sure.
They're just sending the same items, doing the same thing. No, but I thought you were talking about like assuming the player is smart enough to realize like, hey, maybe this comp isn't that strong anymore. Maybe I'll 20 Warwick, and then they just switch comps. I feel like they're chilling, you know.
That's a good point. We should have clarified. Are we talking about the TFT player base at large, or are we talking about challenger level players?
It's a vague statement. It's a hot take. I think it's fine. Soju switch peer pressure works, guys. Statement number 2. Hot take number 2. Set 4.
Move on quick.
Set 4 has been the best set yet in TFT's history. Agree, Soju?
I disagree.
Ooh.
Oh, disagree.
Why and what set is better?
So in terms of, I think set 4 is the best for how fun it is. Just because like when let's say you're playing Talon and you roll and you hit Talon, that feeling is unmatched. Like when you just high roll and you hit that chosen Talon, it's just like, bruh. But the thing is, from a competitive aspect, this set has like almost no. At the highest level, like in tournament level play, me getting that third was just straight up like RNG. I think there was 10, 12, 14, 16 players that could have easily won that tournament. But I think the skill expression in this set is at an all-time low prior to the 4-1 roll down change. And that's why it can't be the best set, because like we've literally only had the non-4-1 for like 3 weeks. But like that's why I'm playing so much. It's so much fun. Like now. So I feel like when you lose, you actually learn. But before, when you lost, it was just like nice. Other people.
So do you feel like it could become the best set if it keeps going like this?
Well, I think it's definitely the most popular set. I don't know if that part of it attributes to mobile coming out, but
I'm sure it does, partially.
Yeah, but in terms of game balance, even though it was really sleeper, I think it's actually set 2 that was really balanced. But the most fun was set 1, but that's only because that's when I first started the set. And not only that, but I really like Pantheon, like Asol, like all the dragons. Swain was cool, GA Redemption, Morello, like all that stuff.
Oh,
what about
I was so excited.
So do you like set 2 and Pantheon? Oh my god.
Oh no, I don't.
Pantheon
I hated
was
set 2. Set 2, I rage quit the set because it was so boring. But in terms of balance, it was definitely the most balanced.
That is true. There's a lot of great things outside of the RNG mechanics of like Azir soldiers and stuff like that. Like I really like set 2.
Yeah, there's like a lot of 3-star carries. Like Kindred and Azir being in the game was really good. Sivir even. But now it feels like you're kind of skipping your early game. Like there's not a single carry mid game you'll actually use late game. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get like a Kali, Xin Zhao, and all that stuff, but it's just not working. The units are, I don't know, they're just bad relative to the forecasts.
Yeah, I have to agree here with Soju. I think set 4 has the potential to be the best set right now in TFT. I think they are like, learning a lot of new lessons based off like some of the choices that they made, right? The chosen mechanic we can debate about for like hours. The fact that they have so many champions in the pool kind of like create, and all these systemic changes of leveling and whatnot kind of fundamentally change TFT in a very profound way that like I'm still not sure how I feel about it. And I think the big reason is exactly what Soju pointed at, which it felt like for a big portion of the set, stage 2 and 3 didn't really matter at all. And that's like some of the most important decision making that you can never really challenge in a strategy game. Decision making in late game, like people really like that kind of stuff, like all these crazy positioning and pivoting. But like early game foundational building block decisions are supposed to be really important as well. And it felt like this set has a lot lower of that compared to previous sets. But they've been improving it a lot, and I'm hopeful for the rest of the set. I think it's going to be definitely top 2 by the end, and hopefully the best.
Okay. I understand that. I understand both of your points. I'm actually going to say that I agree, actually, that set 4 has been the best set yet. But for slightly different reasons. Because I think this is a broader one too. And so I'm going to apply my own sort of take to this. But I think set 4 is the best set so far because the chosen mechanic is just great. And mark my words, we will miss it when it's gone. And you can quote me on that. Okay. Really. And I know Dan can't wait to quote me on that when it goes horribly in like the second half of the set somehow. I don't know. But I don't think it will. I think set 4 is the most developed version of TFT we've seen so far. Frodan mentioned that they're learning from the earlier sets. And I feel like you can see that. I feel like each set we've seen sort of an evolution and a learning of like what this game needs to be as an auto battler and like what makes a good auto battler to begin with. And I have a lot of love for the earlier sets too, for sure. Like set 1, I mean, when I figured out that 6 Yordles was just unbeatable, like it wasn't fair, but it was just so much fun. Like I still love set 1 so much for that kind of stuff. 60% dodge is ridiculous. But going back to set 4, I think the mechanics are really good. I do agree that it's too bad that we got stuck in this meta where the 4-1 roll down was kind of enforced. I always think that the degree to which people react to this type of thing is probably too much. I think people spend a little bit too much time talking about how they don't like things and not enough time spending finding ways to beat it. And that's maybe my like StarCraft background in that like that was a game that was like stuck in one meta with no patches for like years until someone actually like figured out a way to do it. And so the point is that it's there. Like the answers are out there. And sometimes it just takes like more effort and less social media posts. That said, I am glad the 4-1 meta is gone. But at the same time, I think set 4 is still the best overall, just in terms of development of the game at a holistic level.
Okay.
So
totally
anyway,
fair.
thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Time will tell.
Wait, Frodan, what did you say was the best set?
Last one for
Wait.
this episode. Agree.
What? Are you just ignoring Soju? Are you ignoring our guest?
Oh, sorry. What? I
Oh, no,
didn't hear
no. No, what was your favorite set? I think I missed it.
my favorite set.
Yeah.
Oh, set one because it was like set one was
That
like
one was so
Wait,
great.
if you're
my
weird camping
favorite gaming
Ace will-
moment of 2019. It was like July 4th weekend, and like I had all these plans, and I canceled everything because I just played TFT for like a week straight, nonstop. It was just some of the most fun that I've had, and like it kind of had like this Among Us feel where like everybody who had played League of Legends ever in my friend group all kind of converged, and we all had like dispersed and like done different stuff. So it was like a really special time. So that one is like really hard to replace in my heart. That's the best.
And then what comp did you play? Because you said you were talking trash when I said Pantheon.
Dude, Russian Pantheon was so toxic at that game. But like, okay, my favorite comp in set one had to be when shapeshifters were really good. Because I think they were super good. They were super fun.
Yeah.
I like the Shyvana builds.
Wait, but you're running Pantheon though.
No, I know, but like before Pantheon got into the game.
Oh,
It was
okay.
added later. And then it was just like, well, Pantheon just kind of destroyed everything when he like jumped into the board and whatnot.
6 yordle, 3 shapeshifter, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good times. Get
Also,
that Nara in
Draven
there.
comps were lit. Draven comps were
Oh,
fun.
Those
yeah.
are fun. Yeah,
When
those
you
are
could get
fun.
Imperial online, it was awesome for sure.
Yeah.
Swain was really fun. You will see him come back someday. I'm making everybody mad at this, but no, it was. Well, a lot of people probably didn't even play set one. But if you did, it was tons of fun. Trust us.
It was super good.
We've got one more to discuss. Let's do it.
Got one more. Statement number 3. Agree? TFT Esports is on a good path at the moment, despite having a slow start. Once more, we start off with Soju, our guest.
I will not answer this.
Abstain. Did you
Soju,
predict that?
I
More
no,
than
I'll talk
invited
about
to
it in the
event.
esports section because I feel like I have a lot to say.
Okay.
Okay.
Soju abstains from voting, which is technically a vote.
We
you want to
can't allow that in future weeks.
Yeah, sure.
He'll get away with it this time. But from now on, we'll have to prep the guests and tell them they have to answer.
Okay. DoA, what do you think?
Oh, me? I think it did have a slow start. I think part of that slow start was because after the way set 3 ended, there were a lot of people that wanted to make sure set 4 was really great. And so they wanted to take extra time to make sure it was great. And I think what we've got going now is pretty sick. So I'm of two minds on this, I guess, because I think the direction is definitely better than set 3. There's still improvements that could be made, but it's certainly an improvement. And if that took a little bit of extra time to get going, so be it. That said, it should never take this long again. It should never in a million years take this long again to get like official esports stuff started with the set. And I don't think it will. So I don't think it's going to be a big concern from here on out. So I don't know. Is that an agree or disagree? I don't even know which one that is.
I don't know. You tell me, Doe. It sounds like you're straddling the fence here, and you're not really sure.
Give me both of the icons. Give me the double. Give me the
Okay.
agree, disagree.
All right,
That's
I
kinda
will
bold.
do a. I guess it like kind of depends on what time frame you're taking. If you have a memory of Goldfish, like people who usually are in Twitch chat, yes, then it's on a good path because the past month has been fine, right? But like even 4 months ago, it was just like kind of an embarrassment of what TFT Esports was. So is it on a good path right this very moment? I would agree. I would say like, if you asked me like 8 weeks ago, I would have been like, hell no. I would have been like, we're doomed. Like this is never really going to turn to anything. But most importantly, it's about like turning the ship around. And I think right now we're actually, if it can continue like this, I think it's okay.
Okay, you're right. I didn't consider the at the moment part. For some reason, I wasn't thinking about that. So yeah, change me to agree. I'll agree. Because if we're saying at the moment, sure.
That's the key phrase.
Well,
All right, so I think that bridges us to the esports segment, which Soju said he had a lot he wanted to talk about. So.
Oh, I don't have a lot. I just like don't want to. I feel like don't worry about it. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
So skipping
Soju
the
said
esports
that
section
this segment
anyway,
was turbo based, so we're going next. So, DoA, why don't you
Yeah.
start talking a little bit about the Set4 Esports that you've been casting lately?
Right. Well, it was great. I felt like it had been so long since I had casted any TFT, but it was a ton of fun with Keen and Crone to jump back behind the mic. Wish you could have been there too, Frodan, to do the Fates NA regional. It was like one of the longest tournament names ever. It was like the Teamfight Tactics Fates North American Regional Qualifiers. Oh, it was GiantSlayerTV presents the Teamfight Tactics Fates North American Regional Qualifiers. But we got it done. Long name, great tournament. It was 3 days of really fun games. I mean, I'm sure you've got a lot to say about it, Soju, but from the casting side of it, from watching the games, we had a ton of fun. And a big part of it for me was just getting to cast TFT again because it had been a long time. But also just seeing the way everybody approached the game and seeing the comps that ended up succeeding was not quite what I think a lot of us were expecting. And then, despite Asian gamers not making it to day 3, seeing him do well by just one tricking, which is something that a lot of people have been saying just hasn't been possible in set 4. So to see someone say, no, I think I'm going to do it anyway, and then do well with it, you can agree or disagree whether that is a right thing to do or not. But I think it was neat to see that we at least had that represented anyway. So it was cool. But Soju, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with it?
Okay, so day 1, I was just straight up griefing. Like, I feel like, well, I wasn't griefing like on purpose, but I was just like, I think I was like 22nd or something, and I was talking so much trash, or not 22nd. How many people were in this tournament? 24.
24. You were down there for a
24, so
while.
I was
though.
like
Yeah.
14th or something. That's with the TL people included. I think the people that came, I'm surprised that the format of the tourney, they even like invited the 8 people that came from TL. It's like basically inviting high schoolers to like an Olympic event. I feel like it's like high school
But some,
swimmers to like an
some
Olympic
Olympians
swimming.
are high school age.
You just compare yourself to an Olympian? Okay.
No, but I'm saying it's like, why are, like, if you looked at the lobbies, right? It was like everyone was 1.5K, and then there's just that like one Masters player, and it's just like, what? Like, what is going on? But anyway, I mean, day 1, the thing about these 3-day events, by the way, the format of this event was insanely good. Like 24 to 16, 16 to 8, and then you play on 8. And the multiple day, not only does it increase variance, but I think tournament level play has a different meta. Like, what's strong in tournament is different. I'm not saying tournaments are different from solo queue in terms of like skill level. It's just like it's just like after playing in a day. So like what happened at Worlds, right? Is like after you play 2 games of Worlds tournament, you kind of see like what's going on early game, what's going on mid game, what's going on late game, and what's working and what's not, and you adapt your own meta according to it. But that's why 3-day tournaments are so good, is because even if you have a wrong read on the meta, you have a day to like bounce back. And that's exactly what happened. But yeah, like I think this tournament was, everyone was really tunnel visioned on how Talon was, and the tournament, every game almost, what won the lobby was just legendaries with like a random mix of Dusk, Cultist, stuff like that. But yeah, this tournament was, dude, the format is for sure the best tournament format we've had.
What do you think about the final day? I'm curious because a lot of the tournaments before that recently, a lot of the bigger ones, and had someone needing a first to win it, which I go back and forth on. It's exciting to watch, but I don't know if it's the most fair format ever. What do you think about the final day format?
I don't know. I and it's definitely unfair if someone goes like 1-1-1-1 and then gets enough points and they can't finish it out, and and they just have to keep playing. It's definitely unfair for that person, but at the same time, it's like after round 4, right? No matter what, it's like, yeah, I'm not winning the tournament. It just feels bad, but to play, so I can't really tell. It's definitely unfair, but I think it's more fun to watch when they do have to win. That way, like someone,
it's more
like,
exciting for sure.
Yeah, but it's definitely unfair for the players that do well at the beginning as well, but just can't get a win. Because there's a lot of cases where winning is just like you high roll opener and then you can get to the legendaries. It's not more so like playing well, especially at the highest level. Like any of these players, okay, I mean, excluding, okay, okay, Boomer and Zapper's on my friends list, so if he's watching, I'm sorry.
How dare you disrespect Boomer and Zapper?
He had no chance of winning, but I don't even know how he got into the top 8, to be honest. He was the 300 LP player from the TL invite. Like props to him. I'm sure he played really well.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the top 8. But the thing is, it's like I'm looking at the other names, and it's like anyone could have won this tournament. Yeah,
As
yeah.
long as you remember that they have what 7 + 2 equals, right?
Yeah, no, I was so confused that he did not Nico his Ash. I don't know if you were watching. You were casting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
fought him, or I'm scouting, and I see he has like 7 Ashes with 2 Nico on bench. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I haven't fought him yet. And then I fought him the next round. He didn't Nico, and I'm like, oh my god bless you. And then
We were all
then
wondering, we were all trying to figure out like the reason to not do it. We were like, all right, so he's not doing it. So there's got to be a reason. Like, what's the reason you wouldn't make this Ash 3 right now? And we were like really trying to like Crone and Key and I were really like trying to puzzle it out. And we were like, he's a pro player. So clearly he has to see it. Like, why would he do it? What galaxy brain plan does he have? But he didn't see it.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Well, the qualifier was pretty nice. I did kind of wish that Riot would have promoted a little bit more. You know, I felt like the first time I saw the immediate like Riot making any statement was when Mort actually tweeted the results. And I feel like that was almost like indicative of how one, Mort does like everything he can to make this game successful on multiple fronts. But two, like how it feels like there's a little bit more support needed in that category because that was the first time I saw anyone say anything. I think people actually published articles, like news articles about the results and mentioned like Riot has yet to say at the time of writing this article, Riot has yet to say any congratulations to the winners. So that kind of stuff, I think just needs to tidy up a little bit. And overall though, it seemed to go pretty well.
It was a bit awkward. I'm glad they're working more with community TOs and things like that as far as like all the official esports stuff goes. But yeah, you gotta support a little bit too. Come on, I've got a feeling that's something that's going to improve in the future too. But I think that does it for our esports section. Unless you have any final comments on that, Soju. Otherwise, it's time to move on to something everyone's looking forward to. So don't make us wait, Soju.
Oh no, the esports thing is right after the tournament. Milk just comes out of nowhere and starts like talking trash on Twitter. He just brought up all this drama and he's just like, yeah, like this esports, blah blah blah, this sucks, and the timing was so bad. So I was just like not having it and not like participating in the conversation. But I just wanted to say that, yeah, there's a lot of tournaments, but if you think about it, I feel like.
Sorry, I'm reading Twitch chat right now.
Oh, I'm just going to have to agree with Milk that no one is actually trying when it comes to TFT. It's not because there's not enough events. There's a lot of events. I think that the format of this is really good. It's just that like there's no way anyone is going to drop out of a full-time position to like fuck it. I'm going to go play TFT Pro. You know, it's just not going to happen because even if you win this tournament, you're only making like how much did the winner of this tournament get? 2K? Or something like that.
I know I casted this, but I've already forgotten. I think it was like 5.
Oh, you get 5K for winning this tournament? I thought it was a 5K total. That's what I thought. Because there's no way it's 5 because I got 700. I don't know, but I just feel like
5K total. Okay, chat confirms.
It's just like the EV of playing in these tourneys. Like there was a little back and forth between Mort and Milk. And the EV, how you calculate EV is expected value. It's not like the value that you got. So like the expected value from any player entering this tourney is actually just so low that you're better off just like doing anything else. Don't get me wrong though, it's a lot of fun and people who do enjoy TFT are going to compete always. But like in order for like people to actually try and invest into this game and the game to actually blow up and for to get a newer player to be like, oh, I want to like play and explore this genre, like competitively, it's the prize pool is kind of low.
All right, I gotta say something here. I'm sorry, Soju.
Yeah,
I have to cut you off because here's the thing, and maybe this is like old esports man DoA talking, but maybe Frodan can back me up on this. Maybe he won't want to. We'll see. But I think the fact that there's anything at all like at this level a year and a half into TFT's existence is pretty significant. Like when you look at the history of esports coming up and stuff like that, it usually takes a lot longer and it takes a lot more community attention to even get the developer to acknowledge that there is a competitive scene for a game. So I think we've seen and it hasn't been perfect. And obviously, like, not tweeting about the winner of a tournament that you're, basically sponsoring is weird, of course. But like, I think we're seeing more support for TFT, than we've seen for a lot of other games over the years. So it's slow, but I don't think TFT is a big enough game right now where we're gonna have like tournaments that people can make a living wage off winning. Like the fact is, like, the viewership numbers, maybe in the player base numbers, just aren't big enough yet. And so we're just at that stage in TFT esports where, unfortunately, the people that are going to be winning and the people that are going to be playing and being good are going to have to do like that and something else. And like, nobody wants that. Everyone wants it, to be able to do it full time. I'd love to just cast TFT full time and have that be like my only job. But I feel like we're just not there yet as far as the size of the game goes. And I don't know if having a bigger prize pool is going to really change that. I think there's going to need to be more game development and more support for community tournament initiatives and things like that, and more people just playing the game, and we'll get there. I believe we'll get there, but I just don't think we're there right now.
That's just like the one emphasis I wanted to make, but it's also like the EU competitive scene, dude. They got 10 eggs for winning the.
Yeah, that's obviously not okay.
Yeah, and then like this set, they still have like, it's a little meme in the Discord. They're like there's like a channel where someone is just like any EU news, and then they do egg on TF high, and it's just like EU has not heard a single thing this set. NA luckily has heard some stuff, but I really do think that it's definitely headed in a good direction in terms of like format and stuff. But like even I know the latter SSs, they didn't give the format until like 2 days before the SS, and I think it's just like that disconnect that like bothers me. Like there's just like what info comes out is so like just seems so rushed, and it just feels it just doesn't feel good. But
I so strongly like feel what Soju's saying, because like if there's just not a lot of effort, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If Riot continues the amount of effort that they put in the very beginning of TFT, then yes, it will never become big because you never really gave it a chance to do so. Right now, if you look at like esports earnings and you rank it by game, TFT is like number 78, despite being like top 3 in popularity in terms of player base. In like this entire list, it's behind like Madden from 2017. It's behind like Halo Reach or Halo 2. Like it's behind the original Dota, like who ran a bunch of community tournaments. It's behind so many games, and its player base is so big, and everybody wants a reason to compete. And it's like, and TFT is also important because it's a game that represents an opportunity for people to transition for programming career into different avenues, right? We have so many really cool personalities like Saint Vicious, or Soju used to compete in League back in the day, and like all these people that really want to still be part of the industry in some capacity. This is a perfect game for that, while still challenging mechanics and strategy in such a meaningful and unique way. It's such a good game. The scene is so cool and it's really fun and inviting, and I just wish that they would give it a real chance. Like there's so many other games here that's been given so much more effort and support that TFT really deserves a lot more as well. And they're starting to, and hopefully it continues to develop more. But like, my goodness, it's actually kind of embarrassing when you look at that list.
No, I agree. I think part of it comes down to the viewership for some of these tournaments too, is that you ask for like a bigger prize pool, and then the message comes back, well, what kind of viewership are we talking? And the viewership that it's at right now makes people say, hey, well, why do we want to put such a big prize pool towards that type of thing? And I agree. I would say, and I mean, behind the scenes, things are being said to that effect. That's like, just give it a chance, but getting everybody on the same page with that is sometimes difficult. That said, again, like I think in NA at least, it seems like we're making progress, but obviously more needs to be done in EU and all that kind of stuff too. But anyway, that's getting a little bit too into the weeds of how the sausage is made, the behind the scenes esports stuff. At the end of the day, though, we just know I'm a paid actor, and thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
It's okay. You provide important.
I wish I was a paid actor.
Just ranting long enough, but that brings us to the main event featuring our NA tier list / mailbag and Soju's ego. First, we're gonna do the mailbag segment. It looks like, so we're gonna ask some questions that the fans submitted.
Oh,
So the first
great.
question is to Soju, what is your favorite meme born from your chat?
Meme or copy? Like, can I just say a copy pasta?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, there's
Pasta's-
two. The two that I enjoy the most are the one where I'm like walking into my house, I go downstairs, and it's like this long ass story, and it just ends with me just lighting up a candle, and I just say it's lit. It's that copy pasta. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not the TV meme. I don't even get it. People like always say like, "Oh, your stream's pre-recorded and you're stealing my TV." Like, I don't even understand how that even comes about. And I also like the one where they say they have a question, and then like you're like halfway into reading it and you're still thinking about what's the question. And at the end, it's just like, all right, have a nice day, bet. Like what? No, those are like fun. But like the original ones are fun, fun. But the ones that are just like pre-recorded content, Keck W, it's just got them like whatever. But yeah.
That's right. Show some originality, chat, please. Question 2. Has the absurdity of your chat changed anything about how you view people in general?
What do you mean absurdity?
Absurd means like weird.
View people in well, the biggest thing for me is I just don't understand when people like tier 3. Like if some people are really nice and like super supportive, like they donate a lot, or like they'll even like they'll be on every single one of your streams. And I can never do that. Like I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm just not that nice, but some people are super supportive, and it's different because I wouldn't expect like what's the difference of tier 3 and tier 1? You know?
I don't know.
Either
Money,
way
I
you
guess.
sub, you know? And it's I don't know. But other than that, I also wanted to call out like the silver backseaters. Those are the guys I hate the most. Like they're trying to teach you how to play, but they're so bad at the game. And it's like you have to acknowledge them, otherwise it seems like you're just ignoring them. But then when you like call them out, some other people are back. It's just like a cycle, and it just pisses me off. But
you don't put the backseat gaming tag on your stream when you go live? You know,
I mean that doesn't do anything. There's no way that does anything.
I think there's one more. Yeah.
More. What do you think is the most important success? What do you think is most important to success as a TFT streamer?
As a TFT streamer, I think it's just like you literally have to just play infinite. It's impossible to grow your stream if you don't play a lot. Like the times you grow, like the times you see notable change in your stream is when you play like 250 hours a month. But not only that, if you're starting out as a streamer, even if you're the most entertaining person like ever, like so like for example, I really like watching like Esha stream or even like Piba stream or stuff like that, just for like strictly content. But the thing is, it's like unless you're at the top, like I feel like a lot of people don't give you a chance. So I would say the most important is just be good at the game.
Get good.
Yeah, good advice. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Well,
it's great for like life in general.
Just be good at life. Yeah. That's right.
Soju. So normally at this point, we usually ask our guest to rank players within their region and make a tier list. However, we already did that with Soju. And so today, DoA, we're asking Soju to do something a little bit different, but just as much ego. Ain't that right, DoA?
That's right. We don't just have a list for you to make. We have a bracket for you to fill out. And we've already filled the initial spots, but you have to take this bracket all the way and let us know who wins this thing. Do you think you can do that? Just let us know how to update it. We're gonna go left side first, then we're gonna go right side, and then we're gonna go semifinals, and then we're gonna go finals. Are you ready? This is the part where you emphatically say yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. So we're gonna start out with yourself, Soju, versus Kurum. I'm guessing that's supposed to be
not Kuru.
Not Kuru.
Kuru.
MX. Kuru MX.
Kurum X.
All right. Well, it's unlucky that you placed Kurum with me because I'm definitely winning. But I think Kurum would actually win a lot. but it's definitely me. And then Kyun and Robin, it's not even close. It's Kyun. GV8 and Emily, it's more not even close.
Whoa,
Oh, sorry.
All right, hold
sorry,
up.
sorry.
Well, we got to slow down. Our producer, he's doing this all in real time. There's no fancy technology behind this. It's literally a human being doing this as you say it. So, Robin versus Kyun. Go.
Well, Robin right now is on a trip with his girlfriend, and he's MIA for a week. But Robin's definitely like a solid player. I just don't think he's as good as Kyun. I think Kyun's actually the best in NA right now. If it's not Kyun, it's GV8.
Well, that solves.
Well,
the
Kyun
third
versus
match.
Robin, though. You're saying Kyun's gonna win that one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so there you go. How about GV8 versus Emily Wang?
Do I even need to answer this one? Like, okay, it's
your bracket.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, it's GV8.
Okay, GV8. Saint Vicious versus Mismatched Socks.
This one's actually really close. I actually think Saint is a really underrated player. I mean, I would take Socks, but I think Saint's actually really good. It's unfair that, or it's unlucky that he got matched against Socks.
Well,
Like,
this is
even though Saint
theoretically a bracket
isn't
full of
always
really-
like Saint is never at like the top of solo queue. Like, he'll never be like top 5. He's his skill level definitely is there. I just don't think he cares.
Okay, so you pick Socks in this case.
Mhm.
Okay. Do we need? I'm gonna check with my
Wait, hold on.
producer. Do we need?
Mr.
Oh, we're good.
Our speed. Okay, we caught
We
up.
don't
caught
have
up.
GV8's face apparently. Let's go over to the other side of the bracket. Delicious Milk versus Aegon. A battle of social media power versus marketing power.
This section of the bracket was called Caps Lock. The Milk, Aegon, More Dog, Becca category. The top left block was called Horny Mode, and block number 2, bottom left was I'm too old for this.
Is this Milk like when he's peak form, or is it like right now?
You decide. It's up to you.
I mean, right now, Milk just plays Tarkov all day. So I would take Aegon for sure.
Ooh.
Okay. Wow. All right. Aegon over Delicious Milk. All right. How about Mort Dog versus Becca? We know Mort Dog is doing quite well on the ladder lately. He's been tweeting about it.
Yeah, no, I would take Mort Dog. I actually played a tournament with Mort Dog like 2 weeks ago. It was the PvE tournament. That was actually really fun, and he was popping off. But not only that, Becca's also like, I think she was moving or something. So she hasn't been.
True.
She hasn't been.
Oh,
playing
okay.
TFT.
A little bit out of practice. I see. All right. So Mort Dog, victorious. Biggest picture so far. Appropriate for one of the people that helps make the game. How about Non-Tom, our winner last weekend versus Solus?
I would take Nan. Souls is good though, but Nan's really good too.
All right. Nan time it is.
Yeah. Sorry, Souls.
Finally. Finally, we have kiting is hard.
Milk in chat sad.
What?
Soul in chat, D sad. Oh, jeez.
Wait, what did they say?
You know, Milk was tweeting earlier when you were talking about him, popping off on Twitter after the tournament, and Milk was saying he was trying to say I added you at Soju, but he spelled out at instead of just put the at symbol. So I kept saying, like, he kept spamming I aided you in chat, which is making me crack up. That's what I was laughing about earlier. It's Milk saying I aided you at you over and over again. I'm like, all right, hey man, what's up? All right, so kiting is hard versus Asian gamers.
This one's hard. And I think it's kiting. I think kiting's better than PG5.
All right. No love for the one trick. I understand.
I think kiting is like he definitely has his like roller coaster of LP, but at the same time, I do think that like he has really great insights about the game at sometimes the most random points. Like I don't expect him to be like busting out insights under stream, but he drops it, and I'm like, wow, he's actually really smart with stuff he talks about.
Kiting is hard. You're saying to answer our producer, kiting is a winner there. Yeah. All right. So that means we have our top 8 out of 16. It's time to move to the next round. It's time to move to the quarterfinals. It gets even more difficult here. Are you ready?
I mean, I'm gonna choose Kyun just because I think Kyun's better than me right now. But this is going to be a rare case when Kyun is better than
Whoa.
me. I think
Okay.
I'm better than Kyun at every single point of the game since the game has come out. It's just this past month, Kyun is definitely better than me.
All right. So Kyun moves on. How about GV8 versus Mismatched Socks?
Wait, why is this so hard? What? Uh,
We thought it'd be fun.
I mean, I actually think. Okay, so can I just give the top 4 real quick? I think the top 4 are actually me, Kyun, GV8, Socks, and then there's a gap.
Wait, that's not how the bracket works. Sorry.
No, I know. So
No.
it's just unlucky because these guys are in the same.
That's how tournaments are sometimes, man. It's not always fair.
That is how tournaments are
Yep.
sometimes.
I would. I don't know. I actually can I come back to this one?
Okay, you can come back to it.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. Aegon versus Mort Dog.
Oh, okay,
Battle of Mort Dog versus the person that wins all his tournaments.
Aegon. Sorry, Mort. But Aegon's actually really good.
Assuming
Yeah.
Aegon's internet is online and not.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that was so unlucky. Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Oh,
soon,
that
man.
hurt
Too
my
soon.
heart. That hurt my heart.
All right. Nantom versus Kiting is Hard.
I would probably take Kiting.
Okay.
Kiting's actually
why-
really good. It's just he doesn't play the game. But if
Oh.
if Kiting were actually playing the game, he would actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
he's
what I
like
keep
pretty good.
saying,
Like he's like
too.
ranked 5 right now or something. But I don't know. But
Hmm.
he definitely. I think he's just playing WoW right now. Or if it's not WoW, it's something else.
All right. I mean, I can understand the WoW thing. That's
Yeah.
happening to a lot of us right now. But we got to move to the hard one. GV8 versus Socks. What's it going to be?
I'll take GV8 only because Sox has a job.
Okay. No, that's reasonable.
That's right.
GV8 more
And
time to
GV8
dedicate to the game.
Like
GV8's
they're
unemployed.
really close, but I think if Sox even put like dedicated another 2 hours, he would be like the best player for sure.
Well, you can fit 2 hours in around that job.
Or an extra 2 hours. So it's like on top.
Okay.
It's like he already
Two-
plays a lot, but like
Whatever he's playing plus 2 hours, that'll get him over the finish line.
no, for sure. No, he would probably be the best player, but
Right. Sox and Mort Dog have the same excuse. They
Just 2 hours away from greatness, you know?
I
me
would take
too.
Kyun over GV8.
Okay. So Kyun moves on to the finals over GV8. And then we've got one more, Aegon versus Kiting is Hard in our other semifinal.
It's probably Aegon.
Okay. Reasonable. I like Aegon. I've been an Aegon fan for a long time.
Yeah, the
So I'm
only
fine
thing
with this.
holding back Aegon is his mental. His mental is actually pretty good this set. But I remember last set his stream title would be like streaming until 1 bot 4, and he would literally stream for 20 minutes. He bot 4s and all right, I'm out. Peace, guys. Like what?
Yeah, I remember. I thought he was bluffing, and he actually did.
Yeah, you
Hey, I respect a man of principles. That's fine.
yeah,
We
usually
have our
they're
finals though. Kyun
it-
versus Aegon. This has got to be a tough. You can't just answer this immediately. This has to be a tough one. You have to deliberate
Really?
a little bit.
I think Kyun's better than Aegon.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is. Congrats, Kyun.
But
So
okay,
Kyun-
let me just be clear that I don't think Kyun's actually good at the game. I think he's good at the game right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I don't want to
What?
talk trash,
What?
but set 1, Kyun was actually so bad. He was like a hard stuck rank 30 player, but then Void Sins came and then he's just suddenly a hard rank 1. Same as set 2. Like what was set 2? What was the comp in set 2? What was that like reroll annoying comp?
Blunder.
Was he playing Blender?
You're talking about the Nocturne thing?
Yeah,
That
I
was
thought
like the
Solus was
well, it
was
wasn't
one-trick
reroll. It was like
Blender.
a fat comp.
I don't know, but he always has
PDA
some
was for a
like
while.
he always has some like weird reroll comp. Like set 3 was mech. In set 4, this is like the first time that I've seen Kyun pop off without a reroll comp. So now I like respect him as a player.
But he's still not good at the game, according to you.
no,
when he
he's
was
really good right now. Like he is
Kale.
really
He was
good.
playing well with Kale.
Kale?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He did well with Kale,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
he was like doing really well with mech. Like his mech play was like I don't think there was a player better than him at mech.
Yeah. One of the best mech infiltrator players out there for sure.
Yeah.
I think.
So it's usually these reroll comps, but the thing is right now is like he's playing comps. Like yeah, he can still play the reroll comps, but like he's playing the game. Like he's actually playing the game, and it's surprising to me that he's actually like he can still play the game. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Okay.
So like now I will
I
acknowledge
couldn't
him
think of a
as
better way to
actually
end
like
Damn, that's some shade.
yeah, I would put him at like usually like top 5 for sure, but like I think he's actually really good right now.
What
So
if you had matched up against Kyun in the round of 16?
oh no, I would lose. Like right now,
Okay.
the thing is like right now, I'm actually just playing for fun. I don't think I'm actually like full on sweated because I remember in set one when I was streaming, I would actually just like strictly focus on TFT. But now like I just look over and I'm just like reading some worthless copy pasta or like just chilling. And then by
Maybe
then
you're
I
just
already
that
got
good.
wait, what?
Maybe you've just transcended, you know?
Oh no, 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 no. No, like before I would actually try. I would like watch EU streamers, like watch VODs and all that stuff. But I haven't done that since like set one.
Hmm.
That's
But
right.
All
I
right.
know. Soju competed in Twitch Rivals. I was like, man, this guy does not talk to his chat at all. Like, he was so focused and always trying hard.
yeah, but now it's just like I'll just look over and then yeah. But whatever, I'll get back into the rhythm. But yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. That was our bracket. I think that was a ton of fun. I like that.
That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
All right. Well, we've come now, sadly, to the end of the show. My webcam is just like getting worse and worse as the show goes on, so it's probably good we ended here anyway. But thank you for being an awesome guest, Soju. It's been a ton of fun having you on. We're gonna get to your well, actually, just do right now. Any final thoughts before we close out the show?
No, this show's a lot of fun. Do you know who's coming up next week?
We literally never know until like the day. No, actually, we know in advance. We don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
Do you have
Yeah.
a suggestion?
We're like a
on
week in
who-
advance. Yeah, who
A
should we have on?
suggestion?
the show?
I would actually nah. I was thinking maybe you can
What?
get Milk on, but I don't know if it's worth it. I feel like it'll be way too toxic. But I'm you know what would be fun? It would be getting a Nantam, actually.
Yeah, we actually wanted to at one
Mhm.
point. I think right after his win, but then I had to cancel because of family stuff. So maybe you can try to get Nantam on next time. That'd be fun.
Mhm. Well, all right.
If
Any
not,
other
we'll-
any other final
For
thoughts?
Milk as a backup, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. We could make that happen.
I
Yep.
guess.
Any final shout outs or anything like that?
Shout out to my girlfriend because last time I shouted out Milk
Aw.
and she has still been upset at me over that. So shout out to her. She's stuck in my basement right now.
What? I think that's illegal.
No. It's the Twitch meme that she's like
Oh, okay.
trapped in my basement. But no, she
Oh,
visited
all right.
home for
Just making sure.
no. She visited home for Thanksgiving, but she's back.
Okay.
And yeah.
That went great. I'm
Thank
sure
you
she'll
for
be very pleased.
contextualizing that.
Yeah, I think she ordered Wendy's for us, so I'll be eating that.
Oh, square
Excellent.
burgers. Wow.
The true keeper. Yeah.
Frodan,
So,
any final thoughts?
It was a really fun episode. I really want to thank Soju for playing along because we had a lot of surprise segments and new things, and definitely give us feedback on things that you like about the show, as well as check out Fight Night tomorrow. It's going to be pretty fun with some of the Giant Slayer stuff. Who's competing tomorrow in Giant Slayer for the Fight Night?
I'm not sure. Let me see if I can bring up the Twitter real quick.
Yeah. It's got like Hobos and Asian Gamer and like New Mono,
sick.
who's on this ridiculous streak for a long time. So definitely worth checking out. It's really fun.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, that is it. Teamfight Talk Show. Thank you to everybody for watching. Thanks for Twitch chat for being really fun and until the copy pasta started getting spam. Anyway, but it was a fun time. We had a good hour. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talk about things that we want to see improved at the at TFT and the scene sometimes, and even if it gets a little bit contentious, at the end of the day, we're all here because we love the game, and we know things are gonna improve. But oh yeah, that's right. We have a giveaway as well. Hold up, for our next show. I just want to make sure I get this right because this was just put over to me by our producer right now. But look out on the GiantSlayerTV social media at GiantSlayerTV on Twitter. No, at GiantSlayer on Twitter. And there will be $100 giveaway for submitting things like questions, clips, images, all sorts of fun stuff. Because we always try to get people involved in the show on social media, and we're gonna give back. So keep an eye on the GiantSlayer Twitter for that. Did I get it all, Frodan? Did I miss anything?
Yeah. So we did a cursed image of the week, right? Which had Soju
Yes.
and Emily's LP gains and losses right next to each other. If you want to submit the next one, we're giving away some RP, I think, and money. So definitely you can use it to get your chunks or your favorite little legends and stuff.
All right, there you have it. Wonderfully done. Well, that'll do it for us, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the team behind me or virtually out there making the show happen. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Teamfight Talk Show.